5, Petroquia 16. It was, I think, the third one-day international on a 5-match series. South Africa had won the first 2, and this was to win the series. And they were chasing a record total at Kingsmead of 370-odd. And they were in trouble at one stage when these two came together. Miller awaits Buvneshwa, who gathers and bowls now. It's down the leg side as well. He tucks this away off his hips. They go through quickly for the first run, but decline the second. So South Africa 127 for 5.
Yeah, in that game, Australia made 371 for 6 with 100 from Warner and Smith. Just leave a space for any of our English listeners to boo. And then South Africa had reached 265 for 6 in the 38th over when Petroquia joined Miller. Miller ended up 118 not out off 79. Petroquia 42 off 39, and they took South Africa home with 4 balls to spare, a partnership of 107.
Petroquia facing Buvneshwa, and he's defending Olivier just outside the off stump into the offside. Curly does the fielding. South Africa, there was a record total chase to the ground by a long way. I think the previous record might have been just under 300, in fact, possibly. Not many times 300 has been, in excess of 300 has been chased at Kingsmead. And everybody said, well, this game's over, 6 down, not going to happen. And these two came together and put on a wonderful partnership. Petroquia played brilliantly. It was the beginning of his career as well. Buvneshwa outside the off stump, and Petroquia leaves, watches it go into the keeper's gloves, and that'll end the over, which means 3 singles coming from it. 33 overs gone, 127 for 5. Petroquia 16, Miller 29.
And the good thing from the South Africa, look, we've seen 2 balls possibly misbehave today. The one that hit Faf du Plessis, which really reared up at him. But other than that, it's a very good batting surface. So it's true, you can let you get value for shots. So really, it's about just batting time at the moment. 33 overs, get to 40. If this partnership is still going at 40 overs in, then there's time to express themselves and see what they can do in the last 10. But it's, there's no demons out there, apart from some tight and pressured bowling, but there's no demons in the wicket. So these two, who, you can say, have got a pedigree, quality of batting, if they apply themselves, could just squeeze to a 250, which is something. It's not, it's not a match-winning total, but it's runs on the board.
Yeah, at this rate, they'd only make just under 200, so not a target you would think that India would struggle with. Kiriatov is going to continue. He's around the wicket, in towards Miller, who misses this one as he tries to play the way square of the wicket on the offside. 127 for 5 in the 34th over. Kiriatov's into his 4th over, and he's gone for 11 with his slingy action. Going through his overs well as Miller plays to the leg side, got a gap down towards that mid-on, and there will be a run as Charles does the fielding, 28 for 5.
And what's really interesting about the way he bowls, so the seam is pretty much at a 180 angle, so parallel to the ground. And so what you can see is actually the bare part of the ball.
Round the wicket again to Petroquia, is down the track and drives us over the top of extra cover, 1 bounce 4. Beautiful stroke from Petroquia to take him to 21-32 for 5.
Yeah, really nicely played. He just saw a little bit of extra flight. Just used his feet nicely, picked the gap. But one thing I was just saying about the ball is that sometimes it will skid through because it's going to hit the bare part of the ball. And I just saw that with the first delivery, just pass through to the keeper. That one sat up nicely though for Petroquia to dispatch.
Petroquia awaits and he's playing away defensively on this occasion to the offside.
The worst person to stand next to when trying to pronounce names is you, really, isn't it? Because I think I can sneak away with it next to Prakash or Isha, but it's quite noticeable.
Petroquia on strike, makes some room for himself, plays it out into the offside as he squares himself up. Won't be a run.
I need to get the clue. See, I wrote it out, and I wrote it out phonetically. Yeah. I need to add a K in there.
Last ball of the over. Petroquia steps forward and leaves. It's a tight line outside the off stump. 34 overs gone, 132 for 5. Miller is on 30 and Petroquia is on 20.
You even sent me the audio, didn't you, of pronunciations. I mean, to be fair, I don't say very much English. I pronounce it very clearly, so I'll work on it. But I'm being exposed next to you. Petroquia.
Yeah, that's not bad at all, actually.
Not bad at all. Doesn't sound very. That sounds like a C, not like an A.
No, I would have given you a B plus.
Okay.
Petroquia. It's like it's sort of got a quio. That's where a lot of the change is as well. Most people say quio, but it's quio.
Well, I've got the fun, so
yeah,
Dane,
yes,
fun near
that's it. Yeah, that's the easiest way to remember it, that the VAN is actually basically life. Andy, you've...
Yeah, the game in Durban we were talking about, the 372 for 6 chase in which these two were so outstanding in 2016, is in fact the second highest successful chase behind the famous 438 for 9 against Australia in 2006.
So, big chase at Durban. The other chases at Durban, there's not many over 300. So it was a really good chase by these two. Miller on strike, facing Bhuvaneshwar, and he's playing this behind square on the leg side towards it. Bumrah does the fielding. Started the 35th over, 133 for 5. South Africa looking to find a way to up the run rate, which is under 4 to the over at the moment. So Pekla 20 from 39, Miller 31 from 38. Pekla on strike. He's hit 2 boundaries so far, one of them coming in the previous over of Kirayarav. Drums still going in the crowd as Bhuvaneshwar runs in. He's into the left-hander Pekla, who ducks underneath the short ball. He has a little look at the square leg umpire. No signal of an extra, but one that's over shoulder height though is signalled. Bhuvaneshwar bowling at around 135 kilometres an hour at this stage of the game, when the ball is now, each ball is a little softer, so not easy to get him away. Michael Vaughan has joined me. And Evan has made her way out. The player has a little look at the field again as they walk in with the bowler now. Pekla is getting behind the line and defending.
Yeah, well, the partnership's 43 from 69, 33, 15.3 overs for South Africa to just try and get to it. Can they get to 230 up when you don't think it's going to be anywhere near enough? 33, 15.3 overs. They've been impressive. Very, very impressive. Good combinations. Good aggression from Virat Kohli in terms of his field settings.
Bhuvaneshwar to Pekla, who's driving to the offside, but straight towards middle.
Such a shame though, you're looking at the crowd, there's just too many empty seats naturally.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's sold out. I mean, where are the tickets? Where are the bums on seats?
It's bizarre, isn't it? It makes you wonder, like, sort of, is it because some tickets have been given away, people don't end up showing up at the ground?
I think there'll always be an Indian fan that will take that ticket.
Well, I would imagine so, for sure. Pekla with a high backward faces Bhuvaneshwar, and he steers this neatly into the offside in a good controlled fashion down towards the point boundary. He'll get a run, 34 for 5. Pekla is up to 21 from 43. And he steers this neatly into the offside. The ball remains in the 35th over. Just 2 runs from this over from Bhuvaneshwar. Kumar is into his 7th over, and he's gone for 25 runs. He may not have picked up a wicket, but he's done a great job keeping South Africa quiet, keeping the pressure on all the time. Square leg on the boundary, fine leg is back as well, third is back, and so is point on the boundary on the offside. Miller on strike is defending away to the offside. He's been kept quiet in this innings. He's on 31 from 39, 134 for 5 is the score, and 35 overs gone, 15 to go.
Yeah, this partnership will have to start having a conversation of when is it worth the risk of trying to get on top of India, try and start scoring at 7 and 8 to try and post that number 230, 250. And if someone like Miller gets going, and that's a crackerjack of the last 15 overs, you never know, he could get you to 270. The way that they're playing now, you just really could get somewhere near 180, 190. Chahal's coming back into the attack. He was terrific in his first 5 overs, 2 for 20. The 2 right-handers, Fatu Basi and Husson. Full of energy is Chahal. He's a live wire in this team. I think he's the jovial one in the dressing room. I think he's the one that brings a bit of fun.
And what a time to be coming in. This last 5 overs, South Africa scored just 11 runs. Never lost a wicket maybe, but they found it very difficult to score runs. And he's coming in with South Africa under pressure with 15 overs to go. No doubt they've got a lot to think about. Miller and Pekla trying to bowl a partnership. Of course, this is not the only game today. We've also got Bangladesh taking on New Zealand at 1:30 at the Oval. And you'll be able to hear the start of the game on the BBC Sport website and app, as well as the conclusion here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Peflaquaya on strike, facing Chahal, tosses it up and he turns it to the leg side, but straight towards mid-wicket.
Yeah, it was Peflaquaya to Rashid at the Oval. Likes to sweep the ball, and we saw that magnificent catch by Ben Stokes. When's that big sweep going to come out again? He likes to reverse sweep as well. He likes to go both ways.
Keeper crouches behind the stumps. Peflaquaya down the track, chips the ball in the air, but well short of long on. And Rahul does the fielding. 1 run. 135 for 5 to take 6 over. He does love a little reverse sweep, does Peflaquaya. He's a hockey player, got a scholarship for hockey.
Yeah. What position?
I have no idea. That's as much as I know about hockey, that there's sticks and there's a few players on the field and they play on grass. That's pretty much all I know about hockey. Yeah, grass hockey. That was his scholarship for school, hockey. And then cricket started to take over.
AstroTurf over there. So.
Yeah, they've got AstroTurf. They've got a beautiful AstroTurf in a place called Randburg in Johannesburg. It's one of the premier stadiums, if you want to call it that, in regards to grass hockey or field hockey, they call it, right? Field hockey? Sounds right. Miller facing Chahal, and he's playing it back towards the bowler. Straight and simple catch for Chahal. He's back in the attack and he breaks the partnership. And Miller is furious with himself, giving it away at this stage. South Africa are 135 for 6.
Yeah, leg spin. Which potent weapon for many teams. Chahal is a wonderful bowler. Just a little bit of flight, lots of revolution. Miller trying to punch it down to mid-off. Inside edge, straight back to Chahal. It's a good catch. Relatively straightforward, but he takes it nicely. Miller just couldn't get going. The pressure of the team. Situation 31 from 40 for David Miller and 35 for 6. India have just looked like a well-oiled unit. It's like they've got the mojo right for this World Cup. The team that's been playing lots of cricket, they play so much cricket. The IPL, they arrive here, they've had an extra 6 days to get the minds, bodies right for this World Cup. Been paintballing, it's worked. Whatever they did with the paintballing, it's got them together. I think what they like about the UK is that they can just walk around and be normal. You know, I think the Indian team just get mobbed generally wherever they go, particularly back home in India. They don't have normal lives. So when they come to the UK, I think they like the fact that they tend to spend a few days in London and just almost be normal for a week or so.
Same in South Africa. India felt that in South Africa they could be a lot more normal than South Africa. And there's a great story about Virat Kohli, who was at a restaurant with a couple of the players, and one person came up to him and said, you know, can I please have a picture with you? And he said, okay, no problem. Next person came up and said, good day, sir. And he stopped this person at that point and said, we just want to have a meal to ourselves. And eventually the person replied to say, but I'm your waiter and I actually just want your order. He's over the wicket now to the new batter, and Morris, who misses. He swings, it goes past the keeper and down towards the boundary. It could get cut off. The slip is after it. And Mohit Sharma. And they're going to end up with 3 runs. New batter coming in is Chris Morris to face the music of South African trouble. It's actually called runs in the end. 138 for 6 in the 36th over. So a little edge missed on this occasion by the slip fielder and the wicket keeper. We're talking about the tickets, and Francis Moyes tweeted in to say it's crazy. We've been trying to get tickets for SA versus India and was told it's sold out, but on our screens it seems to be half full. Crazy. This is totally crazy. Not sure who actually has the tickets. It's the tweet that's come in.
Well, let's be honest. These kind of stories and situations, you know, I've been reading and hearing about for the last week or so. It happened in the Champions Trophy 2 years ago here in the UK. It's happened in a lot of these global events. Something needs to be sorted quickly.
Chahal over the wicket to the left-hander Peflaquaya, who's defending to the offside. 138 for 6 in the 36 over.
A friend of mine, Darren, messaged me earlier and said, "Oh, can we get some tickets?" I said, "I don't have any for myself." I said, "Oh, I went on the website, but it's a shambles trying to get a ticket off the website."
Keeper crouches behind the stumps. Peflaquaya reverse sweeps, misses. It goes down the leg side, collected well by Dhoni, and not signalled by the umpire, so just brushed Petlaqua's pad, basically. 138 for 6, 36 overs gone. And Petlaqua's on 22 from 47. Morris 3 from the 1 he's faced so far. Jazz on Twitter said, "It's so sad to hear about the empty seats at the India versus South Africa game. Would have loved to be there to support Team India." Well, Jazz, I'm not sure if I'm too happy about hearing that. He says, "Never mind though, I've got last-minute tickets to Bangladesh versus New Zealand, so I'm heading over to the Kyoto, of course." That will be live here as well. Don't forget, on the BBC Sport website and app. The start of that game will be there, and the conclusion here on 5 Live Sports Extra. Could be an interesting game after Bangladesh beat South Africa.
Yeah, they were impressive, Bangladesh. Playing England on Saturday as well, so I'm sure the England team will be keeping a close eye on that one. Yadav back into the attack. He's 7 overs, 1 for 30 so far. 19 dot balls in those 7 overs.
He's over the wicket to the right hand of Morris, who's pulling this away towards square leg. And he'll get a run at the start of 37th over. 139 for 6. Morris to 4. This is a nice little passage of play for India in terms of being able just to rotate the spinners pretty much as Virat Kohli wants to do it.
Yeah, he's just in the perfect position as a captain. Manoeuvre his spinners for the next few overs. He's got Jasprit Bumrah still to bowl 3.
An interesting catcher on the offside as well. As Petlaqua's drives back towards the bowler. The field is standing. You wouldn't say it's silly mid-off quite, is it?
Just short mid-off. Just on the drive for that drive. Kind of that leading edge.
Long off is behind him as well, almost in the same line. Over the wicket to Petlaqua's, who's looking for the big drive, but it's right in the block hole and he can't get it away. 139 for 6.
Kuldeep Yadav's just tossing them up, enticing the drive. Get him heading down the ground, and if he miscues it, mid-wicket hander short, mid-off, ready for the catch.
Wicket of JP Duminy so far, and Petlaqua's drives. This is not really timed either, and nicely fielded. In the end, Chahal comes around from short mid-wicket to do the fielding, keeping the pressure all the time, making it difficult for South Africa to even rotate the strike at the moment. Petlaqua's waits the bowler, and he's getting back in his crease, very deep in his crease, playing it defensively to the offside. Clouds have just hung around the whole day. Haven't really changed too much.
Wow, England.
Don't need a reminder. All you got to do is look up. Petlaqua's back in his crease again. He's a driver past Chahal on this occasion, down to long on for a single to end the over. 37 overs gone, 140 for 6 for South Africa. Petlaqua's 23. Morris is on 4. Michael, another word from you, and you'll be joined by Isha.
Yeah, good over. It's perfect this for Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal. You know that South Africa are just in that precarious position of what do they do? Do they go for it, or do they try and manoeuvre the last 13 overs to try and get beyond 200? When you've got the skill levels and the experience now of this pair, I know a fair while this combination for India. Wicket-taking ability, they build the dots as well. Virat set some good fields.
Petlaqua's dances down the track. Pass mid-off and won't find the boundary as KL Rahul runs around to his right to collect it, running around from long on. So they come back for 2. Petlaqua's moves to 25.
He's pair of blue shoes.
Yeah.
KL Rahul, look at those, Ish.
Yeah.
Put on your blue suede shoes.
Yeah, going along with the rest of the kit from India, who are a pale blue. Petlaqua's moves to 25, 142 for 6 inside the 38. He's now back in his crease, looking to tickle that down to the leg side. It is down the leg side, and signalled a wide. He doesn't get anything on it.
Richard Kelber's the umpire. My pal from Sheffield.
Oh, yeah.
Good umpire.
Very good umpire is Chahal bowls. Petlaqua's across to the offside, sweeps out to deep mid-wicket for a single, moves to 26. And the score 144 for 6.
Yeah, Richard Calbury is an interesting chap because I go to a football match or two with him. We're both Sheffield Wednesday fans, and he's always having a go at the referee.
Is he?
Always. Yeah, that's all he does. Spends the whole 90 minutes abusing the referee. Look at him out there.
So he has nowhere to go if someone starts abusing him on the cricket pitch. Although he can get a card out now as Morris is on strike, forward and lunging at that one to defend. He's on 144 for 6 then inside the 38th over. South Africa in deep trouble. You mentioned whether they should just go for it or try and bat out the overs as Chehal now bowls. Morris opens the face, looking for a single, comes through. Third point comes round to field it, comes through for 1. And Morris moves to 145 for 6. What would you do?
Oh, they've got to go for it. You know, they've just got to try and press the acceleration. But the problem is it's difficult because the bowling's such high quality, the field setting's very, very strong. They've got to go for it. They've just got to try and give it a good old whack.
Chahal tosses it up. It's hit by Pekakwayo to mid-wicket, looking to just open himself up, be expansive, go over the offside field, but he inside edges it, no run. Virat Kohli positioned at mid-wicket. Chehal now at the top of his mark. Pekakwayo looks over to the leg side, scans the field as Chehal tosses it up again down the leg side. Another wide signalled. So just trying to keep it tight to the stumps, but straying on a couple of occasions here, Chehal.
It's going slower and slower. That was 73 kilometres.
A bit flatter this time on the off stump as Pekakwayo is back in his crease and defending to extra cover at the end of the 38th over. It's 146 for 6. Pekakwayo on 26. Chris Morris on 5. A lot of blue in the stands as well here, as you would expect for an India game. Blanket of white up above us, clouds covering the whole sky, no blue that we can see, and lots of green just behind the pavilion as Kuldeep Yadav will continue. No one's really tried to get after him, and I guess that has been a bit of an issue. They've lost wickets in the process, but not really looking to take the attack to the spinners. Michael is Kuldeep Yadav, the left arm wrist spinner, continues from the pavilion ends. Morris drives out to long on for a single. The tall frame heads on to the other end.
Yeah, well, they've just not had that platform to be able to gamble. Kept them losing wickets at key times. What you want against India is to get a good strong start, and then when the spinners come on, have two players that are set, and then you can take them on a bit. They've just been losing too many wickets.
Yadav through his action. Pekakwayo launches down the ground. It's gone high out to long on, and it goes up and over the fielder for 6. And a feeding frenzy from the Indian fans over on the far side of the ground. So Pekakwayo looking to open up his shoulders. He moves to 32, 153 for 6.
Yeah, that's a good blow. That's what he's got to do. He's got to gamble, try and strike a few into the Indian fans in the stand. Good back lift, high. A transfer of weight through the shot.
Yadav bowls, the left-hander now plays out to deep cover as he comes through for 1. Moves to 154 for 6. Pekakwayo to 33, Andy.
That was just the 11th boundary of the innings. 10 fours in that one. 6, 3 of the fours off the edge and 1 from a missed field.
Chris Morris on strike. Bat high, back in his crease. Whipping that out to deep square for a single. Sprints through. I'll settle for 1. So Morris to 6, 155 for 6. You mentioned the fields that Kohli has set today. No mid-wicket at times for the seamers, and sometimes 2 points. As Pekakwayo now stands in his crease, the left-hander, facing the left arm of spin of Kuldeep Yadav. He drives now up and over, a short extra out to long off for a single. Moves to 34, 156 for 6. I read Shane Warne's book, and he said at times with Mark Taylor and Steve Waugh, it would just be a case of just chatting to the captain and sometimes putting a fielder in a position as Morris is forward and driving past the leg spinner out to long off for a single at the end of that over. Score moves to 157 for 6 after 39 overs. Just to put something in the batsman's mind, is that something that you used to do, and is that what you're seeing here with Virat Kohli as well?
Yeah, I think what Virat's done today is put the fielders in a position where he feels the ball's go in the air. You know, it hasn't looked textbook, it's looked a little bit out of the box at times, and that's what you have to do. You have to, as a captain, be able to react to the conditions of the pitch, the different circumstances, the way that players are playing. You know, he's been ahead of the game. The manoeuvre to put third slip in for Quinton de Kock to Jasper Bumrah early. You know, he didn't start with 3 slips, he started with 2, and then he had an instinct that Jasper Bumrah was just getting the ball a nibble across the left-hander. He opened up the offside. He only had 2 fielders, one at backward point and one at kind of a wideish mid-off. And he said, look, get it up there, try and get him driving through that space that we've created at extra cover, and the outside edge was found. So it was a fantastic captaincy.
Chahal bowls quick to Morris, who's on the back foot, cutting out to deep cover for a single.
But your captain can only do that if you've got outstanding bowling. You know, if you've got a bowler that hasn't got the ability to be able to get it in the right zone, get the ball to zip across the left-hander, well, there's a good chance that Quinton de Kock would have just smashed it before. But it's because of the quality of the bowling. You know, when you've got the quality that India have in Jasprit Bumrah, you've got Bhubaneswar Kumar, you've got 2 spinners, Hardik Pandya bowls some good variations.
Chahal bowls, Bethel again opens his shoulders but hits straight to mid-wicket. The throw comes in from Kohli over the stumps. It finds short third.
And you've got Kedar Yadav who bowls, no idea what that is. Those low-arm slingers.
Yeah.
See plenty of that on a Saturday afternoon in the leagues.
Pethler dances down, misses it. Emma Stoney juggles it and takes the stumps. So a stumping for Pethler, looking to be positive. And India have another wicket. South Africa now 7 down with 158 on the board inside the 40th over. Chahal has his 4th. And Pethler will have to go back to the dressing room on 34.
Yeah, you don't often see MS Dhoni juggle one like that. 4th wicket for Chahal. Beautiful ball. You just saw Pethler just dancing down, and he just tossed it up a little bit slower, just a little bit higher, and just a little bit shorter. Grit and rag, but it was just enough in terms of the turn. Very impressive. 4 for 31 from 7.3 for Chahal. And that guy with the guitar, you like your music, don't you, Ish?
Yeah, I do.
What do you reckon to the guitar? The bats, cricket bats, aren't they? You've seen them on this on the stage.
They managed to organise some strings on the cricket bat. It's a nice touch, I think.
I'm not too sure he's got the right tune for the Indian crowd, though.
This is true. Chelsea.
Chelsea, is that what it is?
Chelsea Dagger.
Chelsea.
You're not a Chelsea fan?
No. No interest in it.
So Pethler has disappeared up the steps here at the Hampshire Bowl up into the dressing room. And Kagiso Rabada, who's going to have such an important role to play in the second innings, now strides out to the middle. Long sleeve shirt, green kit. He's got an arm guard on his right arm, and an average of 15, strike rate of 77. Kagiso Rabada now meets Chris Morris in the middle. India, they've been incredibly disciplined today. They've bowled good lines, good lengths. They've looked confident, and at the right times they've struck, just sensing Pethler wanting to go on the attack and come down the pitch. Just tossed it up a little bit more, Chahal. And MS Dhoni does the rest. So 7 wickets down inside the 40th over. South Africa have got a job to do.
He's going on the attack here. Virat Kohli's got a slip in place and a leg slip, so he's got both edges covered. Will it be the googly?
Chahal bowls. That's defended out to the offside. They come through for 1, so he's off the mark straight away, Rabada. 159 for 7. Chris Morris with a smile on his face. These two have recently just played in the IPL together in India. Morris just having a look out to the leg side. There is a deep backward square and slip in play is Chahal bowls. Morris drives. Chahal diving to his left, stretching for that return, and a slap on the hand by the Indian fielders. As Chahal is ready to go again. The right arm leg spinner bowls. Morris on the back foot, managing to push it past mid-wicket out to deep mid-wicket. Deep square running around to his left to collect it. Bhubaneswar Kumar with the throw back in. They come back for 2. Morris to 11, 161 for 7 after 40 overs.
Yeah, I think we've seen again here, Ish, that the pitches that we generally get in the bilateral series, and with just a hint more moisture. We've seen already in this game, it's probably more spin than we generally get here at the Ageas Bowl. It's not ragged square, but there's enough there. But the pitches are certainly a lot drier than usual for England series, and you've just got to be able to adapt as teams. You know, teams have seen them now. It's clear that from what I've seen already in the World Cup that the talk of 500, it's not going to be not on the pitches that we've seen. It's just going to be near on impossible to get to that kind of number. 330s, 325, anything around that score can be very, very competitive with what we've seen so far in this World Cup.
Who do you think is going to get the highest total in this World Cup?
West Indies, probably.
Yeah.
England, West Indies. West Indies are huge.
Kuldeep Yadav to continue from pavilion end. He bowls to Rabada, who pushes that to extra cover, no run.
It's tomorrow, isn't it? The West Indies play Australia at Trent Bridge. That's a chance, potentially, of a big score.
Pushes that to Rabada, sets up, guides that past slip, and point. Yuzvendra Chahal there sprints to collect it. Throw comes in, they come back for two.
You're off to Leicester, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yep, England
women versus
the first international of the summer. They're up against
West
Indies women. Yep. So they'll be playing their first of 3 one-day internationals as Rabada sets up once more, forward and defending, and then 3 T20s before the Ashes begins, the women's Ashes. So
Aussies look strong.
Jam-packed. They do. They always look strong. They currently hold the Ashes. What can England do? It's a strong squad. It's a squad that's been together for a long time for England. But yeah, that's the biggest rivalry, as it is in the men's game. England-Australia is Kuldeep bowls, Rabada drives inside edge to mid-wicket, no run.
Rabada doesn't look like he's, understandably, batting at number 9. Like he's sure what's coming out of Kuldeep Yadav's hand here. He's guessing somewhat. Is it the orthodox leg spinner? Is it the googly?
Rabada looking to work it to the leg side, but it's down the leg side by Kuldeep Yadav, wide signalled. You'll be able to hear that England women's game tomorrow on the BBC Sport website from 1:45 as the left arm leg spinner bowls Yadav. Rabada forward in defence, trickles back to the bowler. So 1 ball left of this over, just 2-3 from it.
Grace Road, isn't it?
Yep, that's right. They've played a lot of games up there, the women, as bowls once more a bit flatter as Rabada's tentative on the back foot, looking to work that to the leg side. So 10 overs done for Kuldeep Yadav. It's been a very good spell of bowling. 1 for 46 from his 10. The score 164 for 7 South Africa after 41 overs. Morris on 11, Rabada on 3.
Yeah, Kuldeep Yadav, he's just got a nice tap of the head from Virat Kohli. Very good contribution from the young leg spinner. Wonderful bowler. We'll see plenty of him over the next few weeks, and he's going to create impact.
Just having a look at a lower order average for all the teams since the last World Cup, 7 to 11. South Africa right at the bottom, 16.42.
Yeah, but I've just got to look at that. Afghanistan at the top. I saw them yesterday.
Well, that's because they keep batting Rashid Khan in so low down. Someone's alarm is going in the commentary box.
I think it was because of that stat.
Alarm bells going off for South Africa here. The Hampshire Bowl is the diminutive stature of Chahal, bowls short, and Chris Morris has climbed into that, over to the leg side. It sails into the spectators and picks up 6 for it. 17 off 11 for him now, as the score moves to 117 for 7 inside the 42nd.
Yeah, I could only have thought that Chahal thought that Chris Morris was going to dance down, so he fired it in. Tried to bowl the real sharp, like a top spinner, quick one. Read it beautifully and just sat right back. Quite a big hit out there. It went flat.
Morris stands tall, drives ferociously down to long off for a single. And he moves to 18, 171 for 7 inside the 42nd. Welcome to listeners on ABC in Australia. South Africa in a lot of trouble. They're 7 wickets down inside the 42nd over. India have been incredibly disciplined. They've picked up wickets. Chahal now has picked up 4. He's into his 9th over. And he's now bowling it. Kagiso Rabada, slip in play as Chahal bowls to Rabada, who punches it past mid-wicket for a single. Score moves to 173 for 7. We spent a bit of time with Mark Waugh in Australia in the winter.
He'll be listening, Will Junior? It'll be a bit worse for wear, I guess. That donkey he's got in his kitchen.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of his time, that donkey. Chahal is at the top of his mark and bowling to Morris, who drives again with force out to long off for a single, 174 for 7. He's a big fan of Kagiso Rabada. I remember him seeing him bat in the winter and really enjoyed his stance at the crease.
I think this is the first Mexican wave of the World Cup.
I saw a few the other day as Rabada is back down defending to Chahal. I think it was the Bangladesh game.
South Africa.
Yeah.
I don't have that on the screen, I just had that on the radio.
Yeah.
It's a decent one, actually. It's going, everyone's joined in the posh seats over there.
It's moving its way all around the ground to our left as Chahal now changes things up. He's now around the wicket to Kagiso Rabada. So 9 runs from the over already for the last ball. It's Chahal bowling and Rabada pushing it back to Chahal for no run. So 173 for 7 after 42 overs. Chris Morris, 19 off 13. Well, he is someone who can be destructive, Michael. And if he has a bit of a run out in the middle here, then potentially could get themselves up to 240, 250. That's the best that they could hope for.
Yeah, well, from what I've seen, I think his best code of attack is just to try and hang in there for Chris Morris. Chris Morris is 19 from 13. If they're going to go and get that score, Morris is going to have to get the majority of them. Bit of dancing going on in the stands. The Indians are loving it. The team are on top. Blue shirts, the flags.
There's a bit of Bhangra I can see in the distance. Heard the drums a little bit earlier, the Punjabi Dhol. Being hounded in the distance. As enough of spin. Kuldeep Yadav has finished his spell. It'll be Hardik Pandya to come back into the attack. His collar up, bright orange collar, as he now runs towards us. Chris Morris on strike. Pandya bowls full and defended by Morris. 173 for 7 then, if you're just joining us inside the 43rd over. Morris on 19.
I just feel if he gets one full on around the off stump, he'll probably try and whack it over mid-off. Mid-off's in the circle, extra cover, backward point, mid-wicket, so there's vacant spaces. Cow corner, anything full, he's going to try and put it into that zone, either over mid-off or over to the vacant space at cow corner. 2 fielders back on the onside, fine leg and square leg, so the bouncer's on for Hardik Pandya.
Pandya bowls the bouncer and Morris swivels to pull that out to fine leg for a single. He moves to 20, 174 for 7 inside the 43rd. Slip back hair of Hardik Pandya.
Yeah, it's good look, isn't it?
Earrings in. That used to be all the rage a few years ago. Shane Warne and Michael Clark.
Well, yeah, I'd say one he had more of a mullet. Got spiky hair and long locks. Very similar to Mark Waugh, actually. I reckon he was the creator of the mullet. Back in the days, playing for Essex.
There were a few mullets back in the day, Warney. You had the Oasis look, didn't you, at one stage as Pandya bowls? Rabada pushes out to deep cover for a single.
I've gone for every look, to be honest, each over the years. Just depends what
with
squirrel I put on.
With hair, without hair?
Well, yeah, it's my own now. I had a period where it was slightly fake.
And now it's not fake at all?
No fake. Well, it used to be fake news.
So where did you get that hair from?
Well, it was horse.
Was it actually?
Yeah, it was, yeah. There's a few extra years I've had a bit of horse on the head.
Morris punches past Pandya on the leg side out to long on for.
And he's gone for the poodle.
No dogs have been harmed in the creation of my hair.
And again, that's all natural, isn't it, Andy?
Fate and physics.
Yes.
My hair care regime.
Prakash is laughing at the box, in the box, isn't
He has. Prakash earlier on said that he felt his head looked a bit like the pitch as Pandya bowls. Rabada pulls, it goes in the air past mid-wicket. He was not in control of it, but it falls safely, and Long On comes round to throw it back in. He comes back for 2, does Rabada. He moves to 7, 178 for 7.
Not been too fast there. Pan used to bowl that short ball just a little bit quicker than his length ball. The bouncer is becoming very popular. Here's World Cup.
See, it's a lot easier for women. Generally, we don't have receding hairlines. Just a few more greys, that's always plenty of bowls. He pulls nicely this time. Kagiso Rabada had a sighter, another short ball bowled, and he gets up on his toes and flicks it away, Caribbean style, out to the leg side boundary. Kuldeep Yadav can't get there, he picks up 4. Moves to 11, 188 for 2, 182 for 7, in fact, after 43 overs.
Yeah, the cutter. Pan opting the ball that cutter into the surface, well timed. No grey hairs yet, Ish.
That's because I highlight them. I'm giving away all my secrets
talking
here,
of a Barnet, here he is, Graham Smith.
Is that all natural, Graham? Yeah, he's shaking his head, yeah, up and down. There we go. Otherwise, Corny will be on to you. 182 for 7 then after 43 overs. 7 overs left of this first innings. And a bit of a partnership forming here between Chris Morris and Kagiso Rabada. 24 of 22 deliveries. Graham Smith will continue. And Chahal continuing from the Hilton Road end. And then it'll be Prakash Wakanka.
Charles been excellent today, hasn't he? Drift and turn and length's always remained the same. The skill levels, no matter what delivery is coming out of the hand. Charles been excellent today, hasn't he?
Good day to you, Graham. 182 for 7, not the kind of score South Africa would have liked to be looking at. Chal bowls with the back foot pushed away the covers, no run.
No, it's certainly been hard work, hasn't it?
How much do you think the sort of unfortunate injuries and so on have actually played in just psychologically dampening the spirit as Chal bowls quicker through the air, driven on the offside, not for runs?
I mean, look, obviously it would have been wonderful to have staying fit. We had Ngidi in game 1 and a half, say, of the second game, but I don't think it's the reason that South Africa played badly.
Chal bowls back of a length. This one's pulled away nicely, and will it clear the ropes? Yes, it does. So that's something to cheer about just for the moment, as this one's picked up nicely. The length was picked up by Morris very quickly, and he deposited the ball over the deep mid-wicket boundary for the first 6.
He's been excellent throughout his spell, but just had 2 drag downs to Morris, and Morris hasn't missed out. Just the length, short, and the timing is excellent, isn't it?
But Morris is a destructive batsman. He's on 27 of 20, and he'll need to play a big hand here for something of respectability for South Africa. This one's pushed away on the onside. Acres of open space for a quick single. 189 for 7.
Yeah, I mean, respectability, just trying to get something to bowl at, isn't it? 220, 230. It just makes Peck Lequires the brain fade even, it highlights it even more. Current 4.3 from here gets South Africa 216. I don't think 12s and 13s are going to happen with South Africa. 7 down.
Rabada pushes it into the covers, picks up a single, 190 for 7. Yes, just good. Casting one's mind back to that game against Bangladesh as well. Every one virtually of the top and middle order got a start for South Africa, and then inexplicably played the kind of shots that you would not expect them at that point in time.
Yuzvendra Chahal has finished with 4 for 51 from his 10 overs. It's the 5th 4-wicket haul by an Indian spin bowler in World Cups, but the first against a test-playing nation. Previously, Anil Kumble had a 4 for 32 against the Netherlands. Yuvraj Singh, a couple against Namibia and Ireland, and Ashwin in the last World Cup against the UAE. So it's the first time an Indian spinner has taken 4 against a test-level opponent in World Cup cricket.
Does that surprise you, Graham, at all, that stand?
No, not really. I mean, it's just, he's a class bowler, and today his first outing ever in a World Cup. I think it's a mix of his great skill and South Africa's inability to handle it.
Yeah. And Virat Kohli's been fantastic in the field. He's set the right field. He's been, as always, lots of energy. And now with Rabada on strike to Pandya, 3 men on the boundary on the onside. Deep square and a long leg. This one's pushed away on the offside. Kohli fields. It remains 190 for 7. Yeah, 220, 230. Even with the attack that South Africa have, there is bounce in the wicket. We've seen Hardik Pandya extract some. And who knows, a couple of early wickets and put the middle order under pressure. That's the vulnerability, isn't it?
Well, you've got to hope. You've got to hope that if South Africa can get to that total, that something will happen for them, that they can strike early and have India 3 or 4 down. They don't bat deep, India. The middle order is the challenge in their lineup. So that's what South Africa need to cling to, that little bit of hope that if they can get to.
Bumrah in again, bowls, and this one's worked away on the onside. Shy at the non-striker's end, hits the wickets. Ricochet goes away towards mid-on. No extra run. Yes, Andy?
Here's a stat for you, Prakash. India's spinners have taken as many wickets in this World Cup as they did in India's victorious campaign in 1983. 5 wickets by Indian spinners in the whole tournament.
Well, I have a counter for that one, Andy. I think the Indian seamers in 83 could qualify as spinners, depending on how you look at it. I mean, there's a story about Jimmy Amarnath. We'll talk about that in a moment. As here's Bumrah. Comes into bowl to Rabada, and Rabada looks to hook. Doesn't make any contact. They said Jimmy Amarnath ran in quicker than when the ball was released. So, it was a great campaign, that one. Nobody expected India to do anything in 83. 190 for 7 in the 44th. And former South African captain Graham Smith alongside me. Not a pleasant campaign.
No, it's been hard working on this World Cup. I haven't had too many highlights from a South African perspective.
Yes, Bumrah. In he comes, bowls, and Rabada works it away. Just
haven't had the opportunity to have a few digs at Isha, Vorney, and the likes. It's been I've just been taking grenades wherever I go.
191 for 7. Well, I remember that game in Nagpur in the 2011 World Cup. Very different South African side then. A.B. de Villiers, that one man. What an impact he had all through the time that he played. But unfortunately, South Africa haven't been able to turn up their A game here. A lot was expected. Mind you, a lot more cricket in this game left. 191 for 7. Bumrah into Morris. Morris plays a nice, stylish-looking drive into the covers. Picks up a run as sweeper fields. 192 for 7 in the 45th. Morris on 29, Rabada on 12. And India opting to play 2 spinners. That was, I think, understandable given the size of this ground. Kuldeep Yadav and Chahal. Kuldeep Yadav not quite bowling as well as he can, but Chahal certainly striking and picking up 4 wickets, as Andy just told you. First time an Indian spinner has done that in a World Cup against a test-playing nation. 192 for 7. Lots of Indian support, as you'd expect, inevitably, anywhere in the world for that matter, as Bumrah comes in again to bowl to Rabada. And Rabada plays it defensively on the onside, not for runs. 45 overs have now been bowled. And Graham, do you believe or subscribe to the theory that Otis Gibson and South Africans in that sense had a sort of single-dimensional plan which was built around the quick bowlers, and with the problems that have happened, there isn't too many options available?
Well, there's options. I mean, I think they made a mistake not playing Shamsi in the first 2 games in the Oval on that surface against, I think that surface played flat, and Steyn not being fit, I think that was the best option South Africa could have gone for. Now they go in Southampton. But there's so many factors you can dig into the South African performances. Preparation probably not where it should have been in terms of getting ready for their first week of the World Cup. Was a tough first week. They had a really busy one, 3 games, as I've mentioned, 2 against the favourites. It was going to be key to sort of how they got going, and you could have taken breaks elsewhere in a long World Cup, but preparation I don't think was at the level that it should have been, and then they played poor cricket. I think they've been one-dimensional. I agree with you, they haven't adapted to surfaces, and it's been a disappointing watch, but it's creeping up to 200 here. They'll be hoping that there'll be something in the surface that they can use in the afternoon.
Here's Bhuvaneshwar starting a fresh over wide outside the off stump and signalled as such. So one more to Mr. Extras, and it's 193 for 7. Talking about the tournament itself, Graham, your picks for the 4 semi-finalists.
Well, I mean, I guess the top 3 would be Australia, England, and India, and then it's just who fights it out for that 4th place. That's where I am, and that's probably at the moment. I would have thought initially between South Africa, West Indies, and New Zealand. Didn't really think Pakistan would feature too much. I just thought too inconsistent over the time, but. If they play like they did the other day, I mean, that's the wonderful thing about this World Cup, and I like the format, and I also think that anyone can be beaten on their day in this World Cup, and I think that makes it exciting. Hopefully we're running into those semi-finals that will all be close, and we can enjoy the contests on show.
Yes, a lot more nails being bitten in the grounds and around the world. Here's Bhuvaneshwar into Rabada. Rabada looks to whip it over the onside. Ball runs away, ricocheting off his pads. And they'll pick up a single, wait for the umpire to signal leg byes, which he does now. It's 194 for 7. Becomes 195. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar played in place of Mohammad Shami. That surprised you at all? Was it conditions? Was it just...
I think probably the fact that he offers a bit more of an all-round option. Strengthen the batting a bit. I mean... He's also got some skills for English conditions, ability to swing the ball both ways.
Bhuvaneshwar into Morris. Full toss. Morris drives it up the ground. We've 1 to Rahul, who fields below us here in the commentary box. And it's 196 for 7. Morris 31, Rabada on 12 on strike. And this partnership now worth a runner ball 38, which is very valuable runs. And as Graham's been telling you, South Africa will want to try and get past 220, 230, and that will give their bowlers something to bowl at. And if they can prize open the top order, who knows? Here's Bhuvaneshwar in, bowls, pushed away on the offside, and they'll take a single. Man comes off the edge of the circle. Kuldeep Yadav, 197 for 7.
Yeah, surprised that he's just gave him an easy single there, Virat Kohli. Kuldeep Yadav just sitting on the ring. But with Rabada on strike as an opportunity just to get tight and save the one ball that South Africa's number 9 as long as possible. Morris has had number 31, showing glimpses of good timing.
There's Bhuvaneshwar into Morris, who flashes outside the off stump, and yet another wide. Just getting loose here, India, particularly Bhuvaneshwar, second wide in the over. 198 for 7. Short third, back foot point, extra cover, and square leg. The 4 men in the ring, sweeper cover, long off, long on, deep mid wicket, and a man on the long leg boundary. Fairly orthodox at this time of the innings. The 46th over in progress, 198 for 7. South Africa winning the toss, remember, and batting first. So 3 and 3 for tosses for the South African captain. Bhuvaneshwar bowled, and this one's been hit. It's gone high in the air, but I don't think anyone's going to get there. Rahul runs in from long on, and the batsmen, in fact, take 2.
Yeah, timing was so bad that it landed in the perfect gap that they could get back for 2.
Yes, he was looking to sort of tonk it over long on and aiming for the commentary box, I reckon. All it ended up doing was taking the toe end of the bat and went high up in the air. Nobody in that space, and comfortable brace there. 200 comes up for South Africa in the 46th over. 200 for 7. Morris on 33 now. Bhuvaneshwar bowls, and Morris has a big swing and a miss outside the off stump, looking to go straight over the bowler's head. Strikes only air.
Yeah, it's probably looking to attack Bhuvaneshwar. He knows it's going to be difficult to get Bumrah away with the skills that he offers. He's just an excellent death bowler. Mixes it up so well with the pace that he has, the Yorkers. Looking to attack Bhuvi as Morris. Doesn't get it right there. Bhuvi's figures are good. No wickets, but economical. It's another form of a slow ball, deep in the fingers. Holding the ball deep in the fingers, and you can see it comes out with seam up with a lot less pace on it. So good skill. He's got great skill, Bhuvi.
You would expect, though, were you surprised a little bit that including Faf, the South African batsman, was struggling a lot more against the two spinners? You would expect with them playing the IPL and so much of time in India, reading them a little bit better.
Well, I mean, it was disappointing. I mean, I think Du Plessis got done by a brilliant bit of bowling from Chahal. I think the others is decision making and skill levels probably. I just think the South African batting lineup for me just looks like a lineup that lacks confidence. It looks like they're all playing for the places, and I think it's through selection. I mean, Markram starting the tournament with Amla, and then Miller came in for game 2, then they dropped Markram today after he got runs. So it just looks a lineup that everyone's just trying to play for a place. And as a leader, sometimes you've got to go and say, listen, I'm backing you for 4 or 5 games. Go and get runs. Let's get behind you so the player feels secure and goes and gets the job done.
Absolutely. Bumrah starting a fresh over, looking for the block hole, dug out well by Rabada, out towards long on for a single. 201 now for 7.
Creeping along South Africa, over 200, and it didn't look like we were going to get there at one stage. And,
yes, 135 for 6 they were.
Creeping along South Africa, a few partnerships down the bottom.
Yeah, you want those further up, don't you? You want your top batsman, top 4 or 5 really to get in the runs. Didn't happen, unfortunately, from a South African perspective. Rabada turns at the top of his run, or rather, Bumrah turns at the top of his run. Rabada will come in and bowl, I'm sure, in his own fiery way. He's so good, so impressive. Here's Bumrah in to bowl now to Morris, who makes some room and cracks it away through the offside. Beautiful shot, and races away to the boundary. 205 now for 7 in the 47th. Looking for the Yorker there, Bumrah. Just over pitching it slightly. And Morris backing away to the leg side, creating that angle and hammering it through the offside for 4. Prompts a change in the field as Ebony joins me, replacing Graham Smith. Third man comes into the circle and mid-off drops back to the boundary. 205%.
Yeah, good from Chris Morris.
Yes, he's played a stellar hand. 37 of 27 for Chris Morris, and he's really lent some solidity and substance to the score towards the end of South Africa's innings. And he can get away, he can be destructive. More changes to the field. Man at deep square, Shikhar Dhawan being moved a little bit finer now to a more orthodox backward square on the fence. And you have a short third man at backward point and a man at 45 inside the circle. Bumrah in, bowls, and Morris looks to carve it away. Slow ball, beats everybody, including Dhoni on the bounce. And the batsman will take 1. This might be buys. Wait for the signal. No, there was in fact a little bit of bat in it. So 206 for 7.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation off there. Chris Morris, of course, remember back in the day, I think it was £1 million he got offered in the IPL. And that was he kind of fallen away, $1 million, sorry, forgive me, but that was a good few years back, and he's kind of fallen away. I remember there was a stage when he was the hot man on fire. He was
Delhi, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he's very capable.
Oh, he's very destructive. I mean, he's a fine stroke player, clean hitter of the ball. As Bumrah now into Rabada. Balls, and Rabada's getting a short bumper, which is pulling away over the head of, I think it's Jadhav at short mid-wicket, picks up 2. And total moves up to 208 for 7. We're in the 47th, Andy.
And that's the 50 partnership. South Africa's third 50 partnership for the 8th wicket in World Cup cricket, their first since 2003.
And very welcome too for South Africa. It's the only 50 partnership, I reckon, of this innings. And
the third wicket added 54.
Oh, they did too. So second 50-run partnership of the innings, but not enough. Need to carry on from here, get some more valuable runs. Bumrah bowls, Rabada goes for an almighty hike through mid-wicket, doesn't make any contact. 208 for 7, it stays.
Yeah, you know he's going to be digging it in there. He managed to get that just to lift kind of above, just a fraction above head height. So good bounce. Just beating a fraction for pace as well.
Right, then the last ball of this over from Bumrah. And 3 overs to come after this one. South Africa will want to get as many as they can. And here's Bumrah. to Rabada. What's he going to try? Block hole or bumper? And he backs away and cracks it away, but will only hit it as far as sweeper cover on the offside. They'll pick up one, and that will mean Rabada will keep strike. It's 209 for 7. 47 overs have been bowled. More words from Ebony, and then to take you through to the end of the South African innings, Natalie Germans.
Yeah, just looking at bowling options for the death here. So Bumrah, he's got one left. Kumar a couple. Rolled out already, and the spinners probably, they've been trapped. So you just expect that it will be cleaned up by the seamers. Are you doing that?
Yeah, I suppose a little bit better than a while ago. It's South Africa putting on something on the board, something to defend. Still 3 overs to go as well. The problem is for South Africa is amongst the other problems that they have, is that if a wicket falls here, very difficult to take advantage of these last 3 overs because you've got Shamsi and Tahir to come. Bhuvneshwar Kumar runs away from us, passes the umpire into the left-handed Rabada, who clears the front leg and drives wide of long off. Morris wants the second run, and he'll come through easily in the end as Carroll does the fielding. 211 for 7 for South Africa at the start of the 48th over. Morris 38 from 28, 1-4-2 sixes for him so far. Rabada is on 19 from 26 with 1 boundary to his name. He's a real capable batter, is Kagiso Rabada. But third up, backward point as well for Rabada. He's dancing around in his crease, drives hard, straight down the ground. Long on's got a bit of work to do, and in the end, Dhawan comes around quite easily to do the fielding to keep it down to 1, 212 for 7.
I feel like he's just missed out a little bit there.
Yeah, just slightly missed out a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, they're just the ball. You can see the plan is to go very full in the block hole. He's got long on, long off back.
Yeah, it's a pretty obvious plan, isn't it? We have third stay up for Morris as well, the right-hander. The backward point on the boundary. Extra cover in. Long off, long on back. Morris moves across his stumps, drives square down towards the point fielder on the offside. And there's just 1 run, 213 for 7.
Yeah, so I was just going to say before, when they slightly miss the length, that's when you want to try and get some leverage. He looked to go down the ground. Just wasn't able to get underneath it. They have been pretty impeccable, India, with their executions of plans.
It's all gone to plan for India, and certainly Virat Kohli as well. He was attacking in the beginning, the catches in place, and the extra slip for Quinton de Kock, and was his undoing in the end. And it's just kind of snowballed from there. Third goes back, and long off comes up as well. As Rabada, top edges, he pulls. It's gone over the top of the keeper's head, down towards fine leg. And there'll be 2 runs in it. He loves a little pull, does Kagiso Rabada. Generally, he generally, excuse the pun, but pulls it all. 215 for 7. Pretty good at that, actually. It works well for him.
Yeah, I wonder if actually, because they brought in mid-off for him, but it almost looked like he set himself possibly to try the flat back over his head, but it just beat him for a little bit of pace.
Yeah, I wonder if actually... Now they're going to make a change again. They're going to abandon that plan to Rabada. They're going to push mid-off back again to the boundary. So he's a long off. That means third must come up. As they've got the sweeper on the offside on the boundary. Mid wicket, long on, and then a backward square leg on the boundary on the leg side. Rabada on strike, clears the way the front leg again, pulls this, doesn't time it, and it dribbles away towards mid-wicket. There's time for a run though as Virat Kohli does the fielding. Just a single, 216 for 7.
You know, as a bowler, bowling in the death, you're happy going for 2s and 1s.
Yeah.
You know, this has been an excellent over again from Bhuvneshwar Kumar. If you can close it out without a boundary, you know, this, even though it's, you know, this game, I think leading forward in the tournament, that's exactly how you want to be when batters are attacking you.
Yeah, this is a big ball. This over's gone for 7 runs so far. What can Morris do to finish it off? Drives hard. Again, no timing. Can't get underneath it either. And Carroll closes it off, but South Africa are racing through for the second run, and it was worth the risk in the end, just to add a little bit of momentum towards the back end of the innings. So 9 runs coming from that over. 48 overs gone. 218 for 7 for South Africa. Rabada 23. Morris 41 from 30. And Bhuvneshwar Kumar is now on 9 overs for 41 runs.
Yeah, just looking at how he bowled that last over there, you know, quite clear on his plans. First of all, wanted to go quite full in the block hole, really push the men back and deep. And then I think he fancied just testing out Pelaquay on the short ball and just made a few adjustments. But he's executed. I think that's the key. There's one thing having a plan, but the second is getting the ball in the right area. It's India looking like a well-oiled machine.
Well, Bumrah's going to bowl the penultimate over, and this is very often the more important over than the final over, because this is where it can go pear-shaped for either team. Can South Africa make something of his last 12 balls? Rabada on 23 from 29. Bumrah passes the umpire into the left-hander. He drives, and he misses a drop short of the keeper anyway. And that's a dot ball, so a good way to start the second last over.
Yeah, good slower ball here, 72 miles an hour. Just the off-cutter, really. Nothing elaborate, but got it at the right length. Took the pace right out of the delivery. Good slower ball here, 72 miles an hour.
Just over rate, and they're doing all right. It was a fine for Pakistan for their slow over rate the other day against England. Bumrah, a couple of steps and a skip and gets into his run-up as he's into Rabada, who clears away the front leg, making some room for himself and mows it out towards mid-wicket in the most prettiest of fashion, but he'll get a run, which is good for South Africa because it means Morris is on strike, and his job is to do the damage here at the back end. 219 for 7 in the 49th over. It just was poor from the start for South Africa. They were 11 for 1 in the 4th over, then all of a sudden 24 for 2, and from then on it was really battled to put together any kind of partnership that would have put them in a good position at the end. But they've got something now to bowl at. Whether or not it's enough, we will find out. Third is up, fine leg is up as well, with Morris on strike. Morris awaits, drives hard, but on the bounce back to the bowler. He's just not able to get it away at times. There's been times where he's hit it so cleanly and you see his talent, and then you see that.
Yeah, I think as well with that one, it looked like from Bumrah, just get it on, just beat him for a pace. He was slow on the shot. He almost wants to just set himself a little bit more so he's ready a little bit earlier. It's difficult because most of the men are straight and he wants to hit through that arc.
What will he do on this occasion? He raises his bat, ready, and he drives. It's gone straight up in the air. The umpire gets out the way, and Bumrah's running back from his follow-through, and he can't grab it. It would have been a really crucial wicket at that stage for South Africa, and certainly for India as well. It brings about a single, 220 for 7.
Yeah, just a little smile there from Jasprit Bumrah. He did well, to be fair. After bowling that delivery full pelt, had to run back and look over his shoulder. Morris thought he was gone.
Right on the splice of the bat. Shot from Morris. Now, what an over. .1.1. Excellent from Bumrah. He's in his 10th. And he has 2 for 31, including a maiden. Brings Rabada back on strike with the backward point in. He's driving back past the bowler and back past Midoff, who was up in the inner ring. Not the right length for that field with Midoff up. And Rabada up to the task. 224 for 7.
Yeah, one of the rare times we've seen him go against his plan for Pelaquay. I'm getting there, I'm improving. He definitely looks to go much shorter, whereas Morris is looking to go fuller. And that time maybe just got caught adjusting between the two batters, got too full. So well done to putting it away and get that rare delivery.
Oh, absolutely, and it's so tough when you're under so much pressure all the time to put the bad ball away because it doesn't come your way often. Now 6 runs off the over, last ball to come. Rabada facing Bumrah, he's driving. It's a wild swing that misses everything. The bat to the wickets and goes through to the keeper. So Bumrah finishes his 10 overs. A wonderful spell from him. 2 for 35 in his 10 overs with 1 maiden. And those 2 wickets were the 2 opening batters for South Africa in Hashim Amla and Quinton Park. And he started the rot and almost took the guts out of the South African lineup.
Yeah, what a special bowler he is, Jasprit Bumrah. Watching him up top, bowling hard length, getting seam movement, really rushing the batters, and then comes back in the middle for a little bit of a fiery spell with bouncers, yorkers, and then able to really contain at the back end. I think if he stays fit through this tournament, India will be feeling pretty excited about their opportunities and chances. A real outstanding spell today.
You know, you got me onto this watch that tells me all sorts of things. It tells me when to stand up. It tells me it's time to do some exercise. It registers everything. It's now told me...
It tells you when I do exercise.
It does. It's now told me it's time for a minute of deep breathing. My watch is telling me I'm getting a little tense here. Boom to Schweikumar, with ball in hand to finish off the innings. Morris is on strike, moves across the stumps, chases a wide delivery but misses, and goes through to the keeper. 224 for 7.
Well, as a South African international, I thought that might have been going the whole game really today.
Probably.
Time for a deep breath.
Yeah, probably has. Fans as well that have come in, I'm sure they've been on the edge of their seats. They've been feeling the anguish all the way through the tournament, though. South African fans. It's not been a good start. They've never lost 3 games on the trot in a World Cup. Morris, jumping around his crease, drives the ball in the air, straight to Virat Kohli and long off. And that will end the Morris stay, which has given something to South Africa, to Bolak, but will it be enough? South Africa in the final over, 224 for 8.
Yeah, he had to try there. He knew long on, long off back. He had to try and find some way to get the ball to the boundary. Just couldn't get the leverage he was looking for. Ball too full on him. An easy catch in the end for the captain.